Okay, welcome to part 4 of this truly epic, and even I didn't think it was going to be quite this long. I honestly thought it was going to be about 2 parts. Well, I was wrong there. Okay, so let's get into, just into the heart of this. Dawkins Forest 5 asks a few questions, but firstly, do you feel loneliness sometimes? Many people prefer Justin Bieber and that same shit. You're not in this list, and how can this shit be popular? Okay, I wouldn't actually say that I do necessarily feel a loneliness in musical tastes. I mean, in real life per se, I don't know many people who have the same musical taste. Only really one of my friends does, which is, Steve, hence why I've done, collab videos with him before on this channel. But really, since discovering the rock and metal I have reviewing community and talking to reviewers and especially tons of commenters and subscribers and people private messaging me and having all these conversations with loads and loads of rock and metal fans, it's really given me hope. There's clearly so many people out there who still appreciate the value of 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s music, just proper rock and metal music, from prog and blues and all the various subgenres, instead of the mainstream pop like One Direction or Justin Bieber or Carly Rae Jepsen and that type of crap and Psy. Though one thing, I mean, people always say, oh, there's such shit music nowadays. Really, there's always been dodgy music. I mean, in the 60s, 70s, would you really listen to Engelbert Humperdinck or Val Doonigan? Well, I mean, in 1968, at the top of the charts, there was Peter, Paul and Mary with Puff the Magic Dragon. Don't ask me how I even know that, but I do. Yeah, there's always been dodgy music. In the 80s, George Michael, Manhattan Transfer. Just, the lists can go on. It's just simply that when we look back on those eras, when we look at the 60s, we just see, the Beatles and Dylan and the Stones. And, and then in the 70s we see, Zeppelin and Floyd and Yes and Genesis and, all those great bands. We just look back with nostalgia goggles and, our rose-tinted spectacles, instead of looking quite, some of the quite simply shocking crap that came out. I mean, the Bee Gees in the 70s, or the disco shit that came out towards the end. So there's a lot of absolute crap there that was so manufactured. But again, it's just how you perceive it. I'm sure in, 30 years down the road, we'll be looking back at this decade with the same nostalgia goggles. Okay. Number 2, this is a question I didn't expect. What do you think of relationships and sex? Is this necessary in life? Well, I'll try my best to answer this question, though I have experience neither. And I was saying, hard question to answer. I was saying maybe necessary is a tad strong word. I mean, necessary implies you can't literally live without. I would say necessary is really water, food, and shelter, and internet. But I would say, I disagree with the way they use the word necessary. I would say yes, they do have value. And I would say, relationships are an important thing of, part of someone's life, and sex is part of that. I mean, I don't really know what to say, to be honest. Okay, and thirdly, or lastly, whatever, do you listen to Great Britain bands like Ailstorm and Gloryhammer? Can you tell that folk power metal will be a future of power metal as a style? Ailstorm and Gloryhammer. The only time I've heard Ailstorm was when I was looking for Hailstorm and I failed and came across the Pirate Metalers or whatever shitty tag they gave. So I wasn't impressed by Ailstorm. Gloryhammer, no bloody idea. And folk power metal, I have no idea what the folk power metal is. What? It might become a style. Yeah, go with it. Power metal. You go with it. Dylan plus Halloween. Woo. God almighty, Joan Baez and Iron Saviour. There could be some interesting collaborations there, to say the least. Okay, yeah, so let's move on to Mr. One Singularity. Do you dig on Mastodon? Yes, to a degree. I mean, I could also put them in the list of bands I used to hate, actually. I mean, I got the album Crack the Sky a couple of years ago, and I didn't really like it. First I listened to it about 4 times. Recently, when I listened to it a few months ago, really got into it. I like the album. I think it's a good, solid metal album. It's nothing more than. I don't think it's one of the great metal albums or one of the best albums of last decade and one of the greatest. All these titles people give to Crack the Sky, it's like, yeah, it's decent. It's not quite groundbreaking. But yeah, I mean, I want to listen to some more Mastodon. But what I heard of the Hunter, I wasn't too impressed, I have to say. But I'd probably get Blood Mountain next. People talk about that one. It looks okay. Music Man Freak. Do you have any hard to find /rare /holy grail CDs in your collection? Well, I have a gold CD version of Bruce Springsteen's Born to Run. I'll just get that quickly. It's here. This, which is oh so cool. That's pretty hard to get hold of. Try getting hold of a copy of that. It sounds amazing. I mean, Jungleland on gold. Yeah, it's epic. So that's probably my rarest CD. And then some vinyl. I mean, I have this band, oh, here they are, called Greystar. I have their first 2 albums. So I have this one, which is their second album. And I also have, bear with me, E, F, G, yeah. I also have this album, Telephone Sex. What a wonderful name, wonderful cover. God, that's a dodgy cover. And yeah, very the 80s, shocker. So yeah, these 2 albums, you've probably never heard of Greystar, because who would? They're a very, very obscure band from, I think, like North Carolina, and these albums were only released in like North Carolina or some state like that, I don't bloody know. Yeah, and they consist, it's a collaboration between the singer Ruby Starr and Mike Gray, who, again, I hadn't heard of either. But yeah, this one is worth about, and this even has a cellophane. It's very good condition. I've only played it the once. It's, yeah, great condition. It's okay. It's very soft rock, but I quite like it. But yeah, this album, it's worth, I think this one's about worth like, sort of like, I don't know, 30 quid or something. And this one is worth about 50 quid, especially as this one, literally, I haven't even played it yet. This was actually sealed, but I've never been one to keep things sealed. I don't see the point. So yeah, I actually unsealed this, and yeah, so it's worth about 50 to like 70 quid or something. So, quite a bit in these 2 obscure records. But again, find someone who'd want to buy them anyway. Would be, who the hell knows Greystar? Okay, top 3 CDs, top 3 most expensive CDs I bought. I can't say I buy many expensive CDs, due to the fact they're expensive. I very much buy on the cheap, but I do have a couple of expensive-ish CDs. As I said, this one is another one. I'll just grab this Piper at the Gates of Dawn by Pink Floyd, special sort of collector's edition, which has the album in mono and stereo, which is very cool, and also the bonus disc is just, that's what's worth it, and also, it's cool, it has a nice booklet and stuff, but the bonus disc is amazing. It has some of my favourite Pink Floyd songs, weirdly, are Arnold Layne, See Emily Play, Apples and Oranges. Damn, do I love Apples and Oranges. So yeah, that's, sort of expensive-ish. And then, even though, something I did buy with my YouTube millions, Blue Oyster Cult box set, even though it's a box set, not one CD, but there you go. Mr. One Singularity again, what do you think of the new Alice in Chains record? I do plan to review it soon, so I won't say too much, but I do enjoy it. I think it's a very good rock album, or grunge, or whatever you want to call it. Him again, do you consider Sabbath's track Symptom of the Universe, which is from the Sabotage album, to be the first speed metal track? I mean, I'd say definitely, this was in 1975, I think like June 75 was Sabotage, and I mean this song definitely helped to lay the foundations for it, in the same way that Deep Purple helped to lay the foundations, like with Machine Head, for metal. But like Deep Purple, I'd say more proto-metal than metal, or Sabbath, I'd say the first proper metal band. I'd say this is more proto-speed metal. I mean, when I would say Motorhead were the first proper speed band, speed metal band, so I'd have to say something from their first album would probably be, in my opinion, the first speed metal tracks. But yeah, Symptoms of the Universe certainly shows signs. I mean, even stuff Children of the Grave even has, similarities, and that was, what, 71? Even Deep Purple's Fireball from the Fireball album, that was again 71, has speed metal elements to it. Also the drumming, Ian Pace's drumming on that album, very, You know, definitely reminiscent of faster metal. So, you know, I'm not quite sure if it's the first. Okay, him again. Do you dig on Corrosion of Conformity? Can't really say I know them much, but I've listened to a bit. Yeah, they seem pretty decent. Do you dig on Oasis? Hell yeah, absolutely love Oasis. Do you dig on Sepultura? Nope, afraid I don't. Silent Bill 96. My questions are, if you could own any guitar maker in the world, what would it be? Have to be a Gibson any day of the week. I mean, I have a few Epiphones. I love Epiphone, but Gibson to me is just the ultimate guitar made, especially a Les Paul. Love a Gibson Les Paul. And if we're talking models and a 59, obviously you wouldn't want a bloody 59. Probably a Joe Bonamassa signature one, Gary Moore signature one. There's some very, very cool guitars. Okay, again from Silent Bill. Do you like Rory Gallagher? If you haven't heard of him, definitely check his music out. I don't particularly like Rory Gallagher, no. I mean, I started listening to him because I know how much he influenced Joe Bonamassa. Massive influence on Bonamassa, who is my favourite guitarist of all time. I just couldn't really get into Gallagher. There was just something about his music, I don't know, just couldn't really dig it. And lastly from Silent Bill, I think, what's your favourite song by Blue Oyster Cult so far? Have to be cliche and say Don't Fear the Reaper, but it's the live version from Some Enchanted Evening, with Astronomy I'd say a close second, and Flaming Telepaths third. I'd say that, but you know, there's so many songs, like Joan Crawford's also one I like a lot. And Mr. One Singularity again, do you dig Graves? Nope. This is a fantastic one. Scott Weiland, the verified, obviously, real account Scott Weiland. Why don't you like me? Well, Mr. Weiland, let me tell you. Because you are a whiny little druggy bastard with a crap voice that has no place jamming with Slash, Duff McKagan and Matt Sorum. So stop wanting Velvet Crap Volva to get back together. Instead, go and find a sandbox like Brian Wilson and just stay there, you pompous douche. There you go, that's all my Scott Weiland anger expelled. Now I'll probably find some story and do some other angry rant and Weekly Rock News like I seem to every bloody other week. Okay, Inconquerable again, number 6 of his questions. I listened to Sabbath 13 and thought that a lot of the songs were long for the sake of being long. I know you reviewed the album very favourably, but do you think it could have been a better album with fewer epic length songs and more songs altogether, or would you leave it as is? Yes, I reviewed this very, very favourably. One thing I would say, I think my 9.5 is a tad high. I think it's more 9. Just to throw that out there. The fact that there were so many epic length songs was one of the things I loved the most about this album. I think because they managed to keep it interesting, Tony Iommi's guitar work was just so immense on this album, his best in years. They really kept everything interesting, I enjoyed it. Yes, I suppose maybe the thing I would change, I think Pariah and Methodemic, especially from the bonus tracks, certainly on my deluxe version, they should have been in the main album. They're fantastic songs in their own right. Okay, Mr. One Singularity again. Having had a lot of time since your favourable review of Anathema's weather systems, do you still like it, or have you decided it is overrated? Well, I decided to listen to it again to see, and it's still my 8th favourite album of all time. So yeah, I bloody love it. So powerful. Even after I've heard it for so many times, it's still so powerful, so emotional. Richard D. This is a weird question. Is it true that in the UK there are no Walmart or Target? Yeah, it is true. I'm afraid to break it to you. No, but over here we do a thing called Asda, which is owned by the Walmart group, so owned by Walmart. I assume it's pretty similar to Walmart, but I can't say on my couple of trips to the States that I actually went to Walmart. I don't particularly think, might have done, but I don't particularly think I did. But Target, no, I don't think I have any Target-related things over here. Mr. Singularity 1 again. Do you like the PS3 game The Last of Us? Having not played it, I can't judge, unfortunately. I mean, it does look a really good game. I like that sort of survival horror type thing a lot. But does it look revolutionary? I'm not sure. I think people are getting a little overhyped and overexcited about this one. I mean, I definitely want to play it a lot, but I think people are getting a tad overexcited about it. calling it the the greatest game of the generation, all these sweeping things, and game of the year. Don't say game of the year until it's bloody been the end of the year. I hate it when people do things like this, like, oh, this is album of the year, in like February, and it's like, seriously, we have a long way to go. Luca Canetti, can you speak a little bit of Italian, David? Nope, I'm afraid not, I can't, except for like ciao. Okay, Inconquerable again. Have your thoughts on Apocalyptic Love changed at all since you put up your review, and are you excited for the next Slash featuring Mars Kennedy and the Conspirators album, which is slated to come out next year? I don't think my opinion on the album's really changed all that much. What did I give it? I think I gave it like an 8 out of 10. Yeah, it was a solid album. I mean, I suppose in a way I was expecting it to be like a 9.5, 10, like one of the greatest albums ever. Because, I mean, Mars Kennedy plus Slash, just heaven. But, yeah, it was a solid album. I enjoyed it a lot. Of course, I always look forward to a Slash album, whoever he does it with, but especially when it's with Mars Kennedy. But at the moment, I'm just really hyped for the new Alter Bridge album, which is in the middle of mixing. Can't wait for that. That'll hopefully come out, I think maybe October, November or something. It's probably autumn. Can't wait for that album. So excited for that. Okay. Oh wow, only a couple more questions before the end, so I'm just gonna go for this. Only 5 minutes on my camera left, so I can't be too long. Music Man Freak, you seldom talk about newer British bands. What's your opinion on bands like Oasis, BDI, Arctic Monkeys, Block Party, The Vaccines, Placebo, Kaiser Chiefs, Muse, and Stereophonics? Do you own any of their CDs? Well, I'll try and go through each one. Oasis, already said, love them, have nearly all of their stuff, if not all their stuff. Yeah, that might be enough discography I actually have. I might be missing one, I don't know. BDI, oh god. Oh god, they're shit. I'm gonna review the new album, probably in like a review roundup thing. But oh god, Liam Gallagher, you crap by yourself. And Noel Gallagher, you also crap. I don't like High Flying Birds. Arctic Monkeys, crap. Block Party, they're okay. The Vaccines, no. Placebo, I like the odd song, they're alright. Kaiser Chiefs, my favourite band at one point, so yeah, I have all their albums, even if Off With Their Heads and The Future is Medieval pretty poor, I'll probably still follow that band until they retire or whatever, or, split. Okay, Muse, yeah, up to and including Black Holes and Revelations, one of the greatest British bands, but then Resistance came along, which was a bit disappointing, but it's like, okay, they're going to get back up, and then instead of getting back up, someone kicked them so far underground they met Lucifer, and he taught them dubstep. Okay, then Stereophonics, could not care for them. Really? That's all. I do have a Stereophonics album somewhere. Don't know why, never listened to it. I think I was given it. Okay. Anyway, yeah, so one more question. Ellis Green, 13, is going to cap off this really, really long Q&A. What equipment do you use to record? Simply a JVC Everio camcorder. Records in full HD, but I never use that setting because I tend to record things at the same time. All these Q&As I've recorded at the same time. Just a straight hour of answering questions. Hour and 10 minutes. My voice is probably going to die. So yeah, I tend to, so I have it on the long play setting, which means lower quality. The main reason though that I don't use a high quality, especially for the album reviews where I'd like to, my computer is so slow it already takes about 3 to 4 hours to render a video in the fairly low quality I already have it in. So let alone on HD on 720p, it takes far too long, and I'm not waiting 6 hours, because I can't do anything else on my computer while it's rendering, otherwise it could crash or overheat. So, like 6 hours, or 6 to 8 hours it would probably take, I think. No, just no. Especially as I'm not known for my short album reviews, am I? To be honest, 15 to 20 minutes for an album review is damn bloody long. Am I going to cut back? No. So on that random thing, this has been the Album Man. Thanks for watching my Q&A. If you've survived for all this hour long of content, I hope to do another one, not too soon. Do one in a while, not at 500 subs. But yeah, definitely want to do one again. Always love the Q&As, love the questions, and thank you to each and every person who asked a question, and of course everyone who watches and subscribes for all making this possible. This has been the Averman. Thanks for watching, comment, subscribe, and as usual, long live rock and roll.